Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to our show. Hope you're doing well, having a wonderful day on this 6th March 2025. What did we drop? We dropped in the crack of my butt the telecommand. What should we call it in English? Not the command, the remote control. Oh, whoa. We're a bit tired. We had a really great day. Went to my father's house for celebrating his birthday. His birthday on the 11th. It's a weekday, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna be seeing him. So we went. Then I came back. Then I had to. So what I'm trying to say is why we weren't doing it live today. I'm gonna promise you guys a live every single day. We are live. We're just a lot later, right? We're just a lot later. So we went to my father's house, which went really well. It was really fun. My father's house was really fun. We had some good talk. Honestly, possibly one of the better time when I went to my father's house. Then we came back. My father wanted to see me at 10, right? The problem with 10 is I'm sleeping. So I came back and I slept. I woke up. I had to upload the clips to YouTube, TikTok, whatever you want to call it. Hi, Jacob. How are ya? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Hope you had a good day. That's perfect. Okay. So, yeah. So we went home. If you like, dude, appreciate you sincerely. Hope you're doing well. So we went to the So we went to sleep. We uploaded the clips. Now we had a sunset. I want to film the sunset, so we filmed outside. Now the sun is down, so we can, we're for sure gonna make a small meal because I had a meal at my father's house, right? So you're gonna be making 2 grilled cheese. Very simple. I'm doing great, bro. A bit overwhelmed, a bit tired, but doing well. Tell me about your Sunday, dude, because tomorrow is Monday. Who doesn't like Monday? Let me know in the comments. Who does like Monday? If you like Monday, put a 1. If you don't like Monday, put a 2. Jacob, I don't even know if I follow you back, Jacob. What a legend. What a legend, dude. Appreciate you. Oh, no problem. Take your time. No problem. And you said hi. You were kind. It's all good, buddy. Have a wonderful evening. Take care. Yeah, so we went to film videos to get the sunset. Then we didn't have any batteries left, so yeah. Not super busy, but so. Perfecto. So our night is done, which is great because we'll be focusing on something else. I'm gonna put them 45 seconds. Perfect. We already had a meal today, so I'm not super hungry. I hold my breath forever to suffocate the pain I hold inside. So we're gonna have to do a bit of art night, ladies and gentlemen. No choice. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. I'm so sorry, guys, with us being late. William, what's up, my dude? I'm so sorry, dude. I am so sorry, William. We're doing something else. You know me, dude. Dude, we are. But how are you, William? You doing good? You're having a nice Sunday? You had a nice weekend? Tell me about your weekend, William. I'm here, dude. So we're just gonna finish that. After that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna eat, right? And then right away after, we're gonna be doing a workout. Cause I did promise you guys a workout every single week. Now, next workout, which is tomorrow, is super important because we're doing a weight in, and we're doing a body reveal. So the first week we lost 15 pounds. We'll have to check out how much weight I've lost on the second week. So there you go. And that's pretty much it. So busy day. But you know what? I I'm not complaining. Million thanks for the likes. Appreciate you, dude. Hope you're doing once again. Hope you're doing well. We're always saying, oh, we're busy, but I choose to be busy. So it's not the what's up, chicken jockey. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Playboy 40. Nice little play on Playboy Carti. Nice. So we're gonna be doing this, right? We're gonna be doing the bass, which is gonna take a couple of seconds. And then we're all yours. We're all yours. S1, 2 viewers, you're number 3, bro. Thank you so much. Hells yeah, bro, you get it. Bro, it's an amazing one. It's an amazing one. Dude, when you think about it, there's no nickname for Playboy Cardi. Playboy Cardi is possibly the only nickname possible. My boy was like, you know what? I found it. And hell yeah. Are you a fan of Cardi by any chance? Or he has a funny name? Doing too much? S1, dude, $1, bro. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with you. I don't know if you had a bad weekend. I don't know what is going on about. What is you on about? You still not so much love, Ernesto. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate you. We're doing a weigh in tomorrow, so we'll see how much we slim down. But we already down 15 pounds. So in 1 week, dude. Not a bragger, but if I was to brag, I would brag about this. Thank you so much, dude. What are you on about, Mr. Wabbit? I am about eating a sandwich, talking to people. I know it sounds crazy, but this is what we're on about. Okay. And you listen a lot, my guy. How about that? I love that. I love that people are coming in, and I'm supposed to be like, oh, I'm not gonna talk. Supposed to look at you guys, and we're having like a deep conversation internally, a little bit of telepathy. I'm gonna talk because otherwise there's complete silence, right? And I don't know about you, but I don't really like silence. I know. Call me weird, right? So we're good with this. We are good with this. I'm sorry, guys. Gonna be quickly done. Not gonna be able to eat. What's up? How are you, Ibrid? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're going well. Always good to see you. Happy Sunday. Sunday, right? Sunday. Haha. I don't know where you're from, so maybe you have a Monday. But I'm gonna pretend like we're neighbors, right? Because we're close, right? So we're neighbors, and you're at Sunday. So sorry, guys. Sunday. No, why sadly? Oh, you prefer Monday? Okay, Monday it is. Sunday is actually not the best because you're like, ugh. I'm working tomorrow. I'm working. Okay, thank you so much for the rose. Appreciate you, dude. Always appreciate, never needed, but you know what? You just made this a little bit warmer. No, I have to get to. Yeah, I know. So the only well at the same time, dude. I understand what you mean, but at the same time, like a Friday is the same thing. Because a Friday, what you do is you are you're thinking about the weekend already, but it's a week, right? So you're kind of doing the same thing. Did your hand tat hurt? No. It actually depends on the person. So, for example, right? If you look at my hand, they're pretty big, right? So you have different part of the body, genetically speaking. Okay, so you're gonna see athletes, right? I don't know if you watch sport, but if you watch sport, you're gonna see athletes with naturally big shoulder, back, actually big legs, right? So genetically speaking, some of your muscle are gonna be better. For example, and I'm not trying to be, I know it's gonna sound a little bit racist, but if you've been generation of farmer, then chances are that you're going to be smaller, right? So because you're smaller, you're closer to the ground, and it's easier for you to do the job, right? So genetically speaking, we have different body, each and every one of us. Yes, we have 5 fingers. Yes, we have 2 arms, but you're genetically gonna have a better legs than me, or I'm pretty gonna have better shoulder than you. So this is why something hurts, a tattoo hurts. So the rule of thumb for tattoos is super easy, super easy. It's it's skin, muscle, cartilage, and bone. Okay, so skin is gonna hurt, right? But less than muscle, right? So you take a place where there's a lot of skin, like the back. The back doesn't hurt. Okay, then your next on the list is cartilage. So you're gonna be looking at you're gonna be looking at like a place like muscle, right? Now the muscle in itself are great. So for example, we're going for the shoulder. Shoulder doesn't hurt, but it hurts a bit more than it hurts a little bit more than the shoulder. I don't know what I'm saying, dude. I'm just tired. I'm so sorry. I'm tired. Okay, so your muscle is gonna be hurting a little bit more than okay, I need to finish this now before focusing after that. Okay, so let's start again. Right, the first rule is skin. So if you have a lot of skin, it's not gonna hurt. If you have muscle, it's gonna hurt less. Now the third one is cartilage. So we're talking about places like the nose, like your the joint, the ankle, the wrist, right? That's gonna hurt. And then we're talking about the bones. So places they'll tell you, right, that the places that hurts the most are the ends and the feet, because the feet it's skin on bone. So if you look at your if you look at your bicep, you have muscle. If you look at your forearm, you have muscle. If you look at your finger, this is skin and bone, right? So because the skin and bone is hurt, it hurts a lot more. So the part that hurts is not the skin in itself. The part that hurts is the actual bone, right? So for the ends, it's similar with the ends. A lot of cartilage, a lot of cartilage. So it makes you like this. You can do like this, right? No, I regret. So that my ends, I actually really enjoy my ends. My ends getting tattooed my ends. It was really really fun. My finger, no, I didn't like it. I did really like my hands. I don't get any tattoos per se. However, I do have some regrets. I'm a very loyal guy. So there's time where my tattoo artist was high. So if you see here, right, this is the same tattoo artist, but it's completely different tattoos, right? So when he was high, he wasn't doing as good as a job. I should have been able to tell him, yo, dude, you're high, you're not gonna tattoo me, right? But I was like, I was too weak, I was too shy to say, dude, don't tattoo me, you're high, right? So he did tattoo me. Also, I don't regret any tattoo particular. However, I regret some of the placement of that tattoos. So, do you have any tattoos, by the way? Before we even continue, do you have any tattoos yourself? That is also super important to ask. Good. Good. So the end placement, the placement of the tattoo is actually super important. So for example, right? I'm gonna take off my shirt. 18. So for example, right? If you, what's up, Gilbert? How are you, dude? How are you? How about tattoos? So for example, right? If you want to get a tattoos, I regret the placement because get tattoos, I would have to get a tattoo here, right? But here's gonna be super hurtful, right? So you're supposed to get here and here. Otherwise, I would have this. What am I supposed to put here? You know, you want to get a lot of tattoos, but you don't have the space for it. Over here, you would be able to put a tattoo, but it would be too convoluted, right? So I don't regret that tattoo per se, but I regret the placement of tattoos because if I knew, so what I'm trying to say, right, is that's the problem with making smaller tattoos. Other people they're gonna do like a full sleeve. Now a sleeve in itself is actually the best looking thing possible because you have the whole arm and mind. So you're not tattooing small parts, tattooing the whole arm. So it's easier to have a whole arm. You're seeing a lot of people do a sleeve. Now in my case is a tattoo here, a tattoo there. I'm 5'4". I'm fucking small, dude. I'm fucking small. So you know when I'm talking about people that were small because they were a generation of farmers? That's me. That is me. Yo, dude, I'm small. But at the same time, dude, it's so for example, right? For example, you have an exam. I know you're working, but let's say you have an exam, right? And you're talking about a subject, right, that you like. And the subject, the maximum of word is 250 words. And you already have 240, right? So you're like, well, I'm already talking, right? I'm not gonna be taking away some of the words that I'm saying, but I have to finish my story in like 10 words, right? So it's a bit harder. So for the tattoo, it would be hard to place them. Now, ultimately speaking, it's super easy. There can be, if you have a good tattoo artist, yeah, you see. But at the end, this I don't regret, right? It's more so, for example, the back. The back, I have two tattoos that have different meaning, so pain and happiness, right? Now, those two tattoos, I love them. They were my first tattoos. But then, I cannot do a back piece because of that, right? So because of that, I cannot get a back piece. Did I regret the tattoos? No. Did I regret placing them here? Yes. But I could have gotten it in a place smaller that would fit, and I still would have been able to do a back piece. That I regret. I regret not thinking about, okay, so what am I going to put next to it? I regret thinking about, if I put it here, what can I put on the other side, right? So that's a bit of a problem, but no, I don't regret any tattoos per se. My tattoo, I got them at 18. I got my first one. My second one, I got at 21. And my last one, I got at 23. So, we were depressed. We went to get tattooed to trade in emotional pain for physical pain, right? So that was the plan, and we traded it, and we got a lot of tattoos. Now some of them have meaning, some of them they're scratched because I was working, and you get hurt at work, so it kind of damaged the tattoos. But they all have a meaning, and they all were part of healing. They all have a meaning, and they were all part of healing. So no, I don't regret any. But yeah, I think that's it. I think keeping the same tattoo artist is always going to be something more, in a sense of you have general vision and he knows you. Um, yeah. Also, you asked me if I had any regrets, for tattoos. I feel like some tattoos I didn't think about the pain, right, for the tattoo itself. So there's tattoo that I like, but I'm being mindful of how much getting it hurt. Like for example, if I think about my my kidney, the place where you get the kidneys, right? When I think about that, it was painful, dude. It was painful. So knowing this, I would have gotten something without as much detail. That way, it would be. I'm happy that I did that too. I'm happy I got them. But when I think about the pain that I had, I'm like, dude, you put yourself through so much for so little, right? It's not like, for example, see, how can I say this? We're done. I'm done. So yes, your tattoo. Like, I'm not complaining. Trust me. I had a good time, but the most painful place for me was on the kidneys, right? Um, and it was so hurtful. But when I think about it, I'm always wearing a shirt, so I'm not in a position of I'm always seeing them, right? Versus these, where I see them every single day, right? And I love these, but when I trade the pain, these were a lot less hurtful, and a lot more. I don't know. I have no clue. I have no clue. I have no clue, guys. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is it's my it's this story, it's the story behind it. I don't. It's a hard question that you're asking, because do I get my tattoos? Um, the reality is, in a perfect world, I don't have tattoos. I don't. In a perfect world, I don't need to trade emotional pain for physical pain. But then in this perfect world, I don't exist. I'm not real. Ink Vendetta isn't real. There's no need to create Ink Vendetta. So what I'm doing right now wouldn't have never happen. Through pain, we found salvation. Through sadness, we found happiness, and that's pretty much it. So, do I regret? No. But yes, it's a question, right? It's a really big question. It's a really huge question. It's also, when you think about it, it's also a I've been really interested in Alice in Wonderland lately. But when I say really, I mean really interested in Alice in Wonderland. So it's the question of the regretted tattoos. It's a question of domino effect on one side, but it's also a question of domino effect, but also a question of Alice in Wonderland, right? So Alice in Wonderland, the concept is super simple. We're talking about a multi a really really simplistic side of multiverse. So the story of Alice is a girl that has kind of a shitty life, right? The original story, not the Disney princess story. So the story of Alice is she has a really shitty life, and then she is led to a place. She finds a hole. She goes into the hole. She finds a talking rabbit. She follows him because she's curious, right? Then she discovers a world, right? So the beauty of Alice in Wonderland isn't even Alice in Wonderland. The beauty of Alice in Wonderland is the concept of was the reality that she fell upon. So when she comes in, right? When she comes into this world where there's talking cats, there's a queen, there's a Mad Hatter, right? And the whole time you think the Mad Hatter is the good guy, right? But maybe he's the bad guy. Maybe he's a part of the Queen of Heart army. But then she at the very end she ends up going back to the real world, But was the real world the whole, or the real world was what she was feeling? So she has two reality: the real world, which is A, and the Alice in Wonderland, which is B. She goes back to A. But maybe the right place that she was supposed to be is B, right? So with the tattoo that I get my tattoos. That's exactly it, right? There's two timeline. There's two timeline where one of the timeline I'm both here. I'm both here. In both I'm here, right? There's one timeline where I don't get the tattoos. I don't get the tattoos. I don't need the tattoos. I don't need the tattoos. I don't evolve. I don't evolve. There's no need to create Ink Vendetta. There's no need to create Ink Vendetta. I don't have the growth that I had thanks to the channel, thanks to making content, right? This is the domino effect. This led to this, that led to this, right? And then we have the Alice in Wonderland where both reality exists. The reality, once again, where there's no need for Ink Vendetta, and the reality where there is. And it's more so thinking about what is the right universe, right? And then when you think about it, the simple question of what is the right universe is insane. Because what is the real universe is your entire life change, your entire reality change. So 2 pieces of bread, 4 pieces of bread, cheese, and a little bit of mayo. And then at my father's house we had some a omelette, sausage, potato, and toast. I'm a big bread eater. Oh, yeah, that's good. And that's we're gonna be doing a I think we're gonna be doing a TikTok live workout. We're gonna be doing the same thing. So eat this. Close the live. No. Close the recording. Go to workout. Same live. Oh, this is so good. But it's a good question. It's a really good question. You know? But the whole thing about this, I'm a bit obsessed with it, to be honest, because it has to say a cultural impact. When you think about a story like The Matrix was heavily inspired by Alice in Wonderland. We just saw Devil May Cry, heavily inspired by Alice in Wonderland. But then The Matrix, it's actually insane. So basically, it's insane. Alice in Wonderland and Matrix are two similar stories. Sakago, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. So, they're both in the alternate reality. They're both a world to save. So Alice, she doesn't look like it, but she does save the world. She defeated the evil Heart Queen, right? However, in the Matrix, there's something really different. Neo is giving a choice. Neo is giving a choice: the blue pill and normal life, or the red pill where he has to fight to save the world, right? And Alice, she falls in a hole. Now, the most insane part is my favorite game ever. It's Majora's Mask. And it's insane because the story is main character fall into a hole, just like Alice in Wonderland. So I don't really realize. See, there's this movie that I really like, which is 23. And the movie that I like is 23 is the main character, which is Jim Carrey, right? It's hard to see the number 23 over and over and over and over again. And he becomes crazy with the number 23, right? And then there's a bunch of murder, right? And they're all have something in common. There's all mention of the number 23. Then, you realize, shit, I didn't realize how late it was. Guys, we're gonna have to end and start a workout stream. Shit, I didn't see the time. Holy shit. Okay, so, Majora's, right, we're gonna do, Alice. We're gonna do Matrix. Real life. Multiverse. But in this world, right, the main character, which is Jim Carrey, is obsessed with the number 23. And the 23. And the craziest thing about the movie is he keeps on saying the 23, the 23, the 23. Now, spoiler, he is a killer. He just lost his memory. And that's why he was obsessed with the number 23. And that's why the killer was obsessed with number 23. Right? So, it's insane. It's really insane. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to stop this. We're going to keep doing the live. I'm going to start this recording, and I'm going to be doing some workouts. So, if you want to join me, cool. If you don't, that's okay too. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being here. Really cool stream. We got to talk about deeper stuff, which is also nice. It's always nice to talk about deeper stuff. So, 9 o'clock. Shit. It's very late. Fuck. I'll see something. Okay, so give me a sec. Are you live? No, we're not missing the show, which is good. Okay, that's good. That is really good. Okay, so now, good. Okay, perfect. That's good. Okay, that's good. So we're gonna go. We're gonna go work out. I'm gonna stop this. I'm not even gonna stop the stream.